The sister flower of the wind, the windflower. If you have ever walked into a forest and felt something shift before you even understood why, this is where it begins. There are moments in nature that do not ask for your attention. They take it quietly and completely. You do not analyze them. You do not question them. You feel a soft pull to slow down, to look again, to be fully present in a way that feels almost unfamiliar. And it always begins long before the flowers appear. Each year, the forest lets go of itself. Leaves fall one by one, covering the ground in a quiet ending. At first they rest lightly, scattered without order, but time gathers them. Rain presses them down, cold settles in, and the ground holds them. They soften, darken, break apart, returning slowly to where they came from. This spring something stood out, walking along the edge of the stream. I noticed how the leaves had gathered in soft, curved lines. Small stacks shaped by the land itself, following its dips and resting where the ground leans toward water. There was a stillness to them, a pause, and it felt as though they were waiting for something we rarely notice, because when the water rises, even just slightly, it reaches them. It begins to move them, a few at a time, lifting, turning, carrying them forward, not with force, but with timing. And standing there, watching this, something becomes clear. Not everything in life can be moved by will. Most things shift only when their moment arrives, and only then. To force them is to resist the rhythm they belong to, and to hold on to what is already closed is to remain where life has already moved beyond you. While life is already waiting for you somewhere else. Let the stream carry your old leaves. And then, almost suddenly, everything changes. The forest floor opens into white. The windflowers arrive. At first, only a few, easy to miss. But within days, they spread across the ground in thousands, each one small, fragile, almost weightless in appearance. And yet together they transform the entire forest. The light changes. It no longer comes only from above. It rises from below, reflected through petals so thin they seem to hold the light itself. The air softens, the edges of the world blur slightly, and without realizing it, you slow down. You walk differently here. You begin to notice where you place your feet. You become aware of the ground beneath you, of the life that surrounds you, and you move with care. Not because you were told to, but because something in you responds. That is how they guide you, without asking, without speaking. And if you stand still long enough, you begin to see them move. A small turn toward the light, a soft nod in the breeze, a gentle shifting that passes through the entire field like a quiet wave, one moment carried across many. This feels connected, as if each flower is part of the same sub-rhythm, responding together to something we barely perceive. And when you walk among them, you are no longer separate from that rhythm. You become part of it, another presence moving through, another body adjusting, even slightly, to the same light, the same air, the same ground. Beneath them the soil is alive, water moves through hidden paths, roots connect and exchange, layers of time exist below every step. Nothing is still, even when it appears to be. And in certain places that depth feels closer, more present, more awake. I felt that most strongly in November 2025 among the standing stones. At first, the mind searches for explanation. It reaches for what it knows. The crop circle seen in Wiltshire near Stonehenge, where stalks are bent into patterns. But this was not that. Nothing had been pressed down, nothing shaped from above. The grass stood upright, fresh, bright, alive, and it had grown into the pattern itself, rising from beneath. And it appeared in November, a time when the land should have been withdrawing, slowing. A wheel, a form that has appeared across cultures and time, always connected to cycles and movement. Standing there, you could feel it as if something beneath the surface had briefly aligned with the world above and revealed itself, and then it was gone. Now returning in April and May, when everything should be alive again, there's nothing, no circle, no wheel, no unusual grass, just the land as it always is. The earth is not empty beneath us. It is layered, alive with movement, pressure, memory held in the structure of the land itself. And sometimes something passes through those layers in a moment where different depths briefly meet. And when they do, something appears, and we happen to be there to see it. And we move through all of it, often too fast to notice, too distracted to feel what is happening around us. But the windflowers change that. They slow you down, they soften you, they make you aware, and in that awareness something else opens. because when you walk through that wide field, you do not move the same way. You step carefully, you notice more, you allow something fragile to exist without disturbing it. And that is love. Something lived in the way you move, in the way you pay attention, in the way you become part of what is around you instead of separate from it. When we allow that movement instead of resisting it, something in us opens, something aligns with the deeper rhythm beneath everything. And maybe that is where love begins again, continues beyond this life, and the world and the shift within us follows. And in that, we return to a quieter way of being, where nothing needs to be forced and nothing real is ever lost, only carried forward into what comes next. Let it change the way you see life and feel it, because something moves beneath it all. You saw it when the sun wheel appeared, and just as quietly gone again. And when you slow down enough, you begin to feel it. Do that tiny wiggle like the windflowers when the breeze touches your skin, and just be here. And why should you? Because you can. Because the world has enough words, and now we need to touch, feel, and be. So remember, you are more than what you can see. I will be back in the next one. Stay kind and shine your